More rain, yes, is hitting San Diego and Southern California after an atmospheric river battered the West Coast over the weekend. You see the video here. Time for the Streamline, everything you need to know in 10 minutes or less. Our Adam Campos live in Mission Bay this morning. And Adam, the rain is going to be moving in once again.
Hey, good morning, Jared and Mel. The good news is right now there's no rain at all. We're actually out here in Mission Bay where it's pretty nice. We don't really see many clouds over us in this area, but as we were on our way over here to Mission Bay in the downtown area, we actually got hit with a few raindrops. So as you mentioned, it is on its way. And over the weekend, Mission Bay was one of the hardest hit areas. And you can see here in some video, one street flooding over, and the whole county felt this storm this weekend. And we have video from North Park to Escondido and La Mesa, again, county-wide, feeling this rain. And a number of cities hit a record for rainfall on Saturday. Oceanside with the most, getting more than 2 inches of rain. And this storm spanned all across Southern California, with video from Los Angeles showing the power of this storm, with trees falling over and some people even kayaking through this neighborhood. And as we saw, this weekend is just the start, and today and tomorrow we're expected to get more rain, and there's even chances of it coming in for later this week. So you just want to be sure that you have your family and everyone else prepared as more rain is expected to come in. So for now, live in Mission Bay, Adam Campos, ABC 10 News.
This morning, new fallout from the Jeffrey Epstein case. President Trump is now calling on Republicans to vote for the release of the Epstein files, saying, quote, "We have nothing to hide." The House is set to vote on a bill this week that would release all the information the Justice Department has on the notorious sex offender. It was one of the president's campaign promises, but it created a rare split in the GOP. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene and the president had a public spat on social media over the weekend, with Trump calling her a lunatic and a traitor after she publicly supported releasing the files.
I don't believe that rich, powerful people should be protected if they have done anything wrong.
As pressure mounts, this new video here shows 8 Epstein survivors advocating for the release of the files. But even if the legislation passes the House, it has a pretty uncertain future in the Senate. The president has repeatedly claimed he did not know about Epstein's sex trafficking ring. He says at the time of Epstein's arrest in 2019, he hadn't spoken with Epstein in 15 years. Well, this morning, airlines are back to business as usual after the FAA lifted its order slashing flights last night. During the government shutdown, the agency forced airlines to cut up to 6% of flights at 40 of the nation's busiest airports. The FAA was reporting major staffing shortages at the time as air traffic controllers called out of work. And now airlines are back to their normal schedules, which is a major relief for people flying over the Thanksgiving weekend. It's the busiest travel period of the year.
President Trump faces a new lawsuit over an idea to paint the Eisenhower Executive Office building white. The D.C. Preservation League and Cultural Heritage Partners say that any changes to the building could cause irreversible damage. The groups are suing to stop the president unless he goes through a standard review process. The Eisenhower building was built in 1888 as part of the White House compound. A fire at a decommissioned power plant in Texas is still smoldering. It started Sunday morning. Thick black smoke from the fire led crews to tell people near Galveston to stay inside. All 5 of the cooling towers at the plant collapsed. Several grass fires sparked nearby. It took about 60 firefighters to contain the flames. They say it's now under control. No injuries have been reported. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
Federal agents are being sent out to Charlotte, North Carolina, with people there reporting a surge in ICE activity over the weekend. The Department of Homeland Security is calling this Charlotte's Web, saying it is targeting, quote, criminal illegal aliens. There are videos here circulating online of multiple immigration arrests all across the city. One man reported he was stopped twice on Saturday and was released both times after showing proof of citizenship. People are protesting across Charlotte. The state's governor, Josh Stein, told residents to, quote, follow the law, and if you see any inappropriate behavior, use your phones to record and notify local law enforcement.
We may be having some discussions with Maduro, and we'll see how that turns out.
And you heard President Trump say he is now considering talks with Venezuela's authoritarian president, Nicolas Maduro, as the U.S. military escalates its show of force off the country's coast. The Navy is releasing this image here, showing the world's largest and most advanced aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, arriving in the Caribbean. More than a dozen warships and 15,000 troops are already in the region as part of the Pentagon's mission Operation Southern Spear. And now the State Department has announced it's designating another cartel as a foreign terrorist organization, even accusing Maduro of leading it himself. The administration also released a video of its 21st airstrike on alleged drug smuggling boats. President Trump has threatened to go further and strike Venezuelan soil. Maduro over the weekend calling for peace, singing the John Lennon song Imagine.
Flu season may start earlier than usual this year. A lot of people are going to turn to over-the-counter drugs to protect or even cure themselves. Now, using generics can save you some money. Scripps News Group's Jane Caffrey takes a look at if that savings are worth it.
Brand name versus generic medication. How do you know if protecting your wallet will also protect your health? An expert weighs in with cases tripling in the UK compared to last year and a new variant in Japan. Health officials say we could see an earlier flu season.
Winter brings virus season, and when it comes to over-the-counter medications, consumers are already thinking about costs.
I'm all about generic.
Some committed to the brand names,
Brand names work faster. I'm willing to pay the extra costs for my health.
while others hope to save money with generic meds.
I have an intellectually disabled daughter, and we've gone to the generic because it does save a lot of money, hundreds a year.
I believe the products come from the same place. You just put a label on it and sell it for more.
So what's the best option? We brought that question to Stephanie Schneck, System Director for Pharmacy Quality, Safety, and Clinical Operations at Honor Health in Phoenix.
In a lot of cases, the generic products will serve the same need as the brand name.
She says generics are less expensive because they don't go through the same clinical trials that bring brand name drugs to the market.
The only thing they really have to do is, compared to the brand name, have to show that the drug works the exact same way in the body.
If you're still deciding,
these two are medicines for cough.
She says compare the active ingredients.
This one is likely 25 to 50% more expensive than this one for the same active ingredient.
And to know if there's a situation where you should spring for brand name, also check the inactive ingredients.
Fillers or dyes. If you do have, an allergy or sensitivity to some of the inactive ingredients, that may be a scenario why you would go with a brand.
Schneck also notes many over-the-counter products combine several medications into one that could save you even more.
This has multiple ingredients in it, something that helps with cough, something that helps to kind of decongest your nose.
Consumers that turn to generic meds say they've seen big savings.
I think upwards of 75% sometimes.
Just makes you feel a little better when you have some money stashed in your account.
Saying it can keep your wallet healthy too. For Scripps News Group, I'm Jane Caffrey.
Now, the NBA is expanding its investigation into gambling. Multiple teams have been asked to turn over their cell phone records and other documents. NBA player Terry Rozier and 2 NBA coaches have already been indicted as part of a federal gambling sting. According to prosecutors, former player and coach Damon Jones passed along injury information about LeBron James to bettors, allegedly texting, quote, "Get a big bet on Milwaukee tonight," before the information is out. Jones pleaded guilty to wire fraud and money laundering. The expanded investigation comes as Congress demands answers now from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
The estate of O.J. Simpson has accepted a $58 million payout from the family of victim Ron Goldman. However, there are concerns if that will actually be paid out and if the rest of Simpson's debt will be cleared as well. Back in 1995, Simpson was famously acquitted in the murder trial of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman. Simpson was later found liable for their debts in a civil trial and was ordered to pay their families more than $33 million. The interest on these payments only continued to grow, with the Goldman family claiming they've only seen a fraction of the money. Simpson died last year due to cancer. His estate says they plan to pay off as much of his debts as they can while auctioning off his items. And we are inching closer to the holiday season, believe it or not, and the costs for the celebrations, they are rising. Inflation and tariffs have driven up the cost of some everyday items. There are reports some Thanksgiving items going up in price. For instance, yams up 188% from last year, according to one report. The White House is moving to ease some of the pressure. The president cutting back his tariffs on more than 200 goods, from coffee to beef to bananas. Holiday shopping may also be feeling the effects of inflation. For instance, fake Christmas trees, many are imported from China. Those are expected to be more expensive this year.
Well, that's your ABC 10 News Streamline. Everything you need to know today in under 10 minutes.